What's up YouTube? As you may or may not know from the previous video, I'm after getting a new car again, and I have a package turned up from Darkside. This is a new charge pipe and we're going to be installing it today. Okay, so what I'm probably going to have to do is, well, what I'm definitely going to have to do is I'm going to have to take out the air box. I'm going to have to disconnect the MAF sensor, lift all of this out in order to get at the factory charge pipe, and that's the reason I'm doing this charge pipe first. I was going to go get an intake and stuff, but like if I'm having to take the intake out to get the charge pipe, I may as well do that first. I've also ordered this turbo muffler delete, and in fact this actually comes with Darkside's kit. So if you buy the new charge pipe from Darkside, they give you a turbo muffler delete with it, so that's going to get thrown in today as well. So there's nothing to it but to get cracking. Right, okay, so we have all the intake out, took the airbox out, the MAF sensor section is out, and the turbo inlet pipe is also out, which gives us access to the charge pipe, which is just here. Hopefully you guys can see this. So this is the factory charge pipe coming out from, oh Jesus, if the camera will pick this up, yep. So that's the turbo outlet. It's going to come out here, it's running down here to here. So now all I have to do is remove this and we should be able to drop the new one in. To get the airbox out, I think it was to take the top off. I did it in two sections just to try and make it easier for myself. So these are T25s, so you just unscrew them, the top of the airbox lifts off with the MAF sensor section attached to it. Then you just have a hose clamp to get that off. I just use some pliers to pull that apart, move the clamp, pop straight off, so I don't have to unplug anything. And then the turbo inlet pipe was held on by a hose clamp. That is a 7mm socket to get that off, so just get a spanner in there or a small wrench and crank that off, and then you can just pop that straight off. Now to get this charge pipe off, there's going to be some T30 screws down here that we're going to need to take off, and obviously this hose clamp which is connected to this hose going into coming out from, I should say, the turbo outlet, and then we'll be able to get at our factory turbo muffler and T30 screws again. I think there's 2 or 3 of them to get that out, so I'm going to get cranking on that now. Right, okay, I have everything loosened off. There's another one of these on the actual opposite side, exactly opposite to this, and it was a bastard to get to because there's very limited space to turn your hand down there, even getting the drill in just to crack it, because as you can see they're fairly corroded, so it was a bit of a bastard to do, but we got there in the end. I'm going to see, will this all pull out now in one, and it has, as one piece. Now we just have to fish it out, turn, and there we go. That is the old charge pipe and turbo outlet with the turbo muffler on the end. So now we can get rid of that and we can start putting this together. Alright, so first new thing to go on, I'm going to do this in parts because I think it'll be easier. We're going to put the new turbo muffler delete on, and they also, Darkside, provide you with O-rings and all the stuff like that, so that's really cool. And I actually think we've got new hardware to go in rather than the old T30s. Darkside have provided us with some different hardware here, some fresh bolts, so I think I might go ahead and try and use those if the T30s aren't going to be adequate. There's also a little bit of adjustability on the one side, on this side. See the way this is adjustable, just to make sure the fitment is good. So I'm going to try and stick this in here now. Goes down the back here so you guys can see. That is where we're putting this. There's 2 bolt holes either side of the outlet on the turbo. We're going to get that on, and then we're going to crack on with the rest of the install. Okay, so we have the turbo muffler delete installed. Nice shiny new metal pipe replacing the plastic one. It's going to be less turbulence because this is straight through, and also the replacement bolts, thank Christ, from Darkside are Allen key heads. So instead of bleeding Torx head, we have Allen key. If we ever need any maintenance, it will be less fiddly of a tool to get at. So now I'm gonna go ahead and get the silicone hose attached to that, and then we can crack on with installing the new charge pipe, the hard charge pipe itself. So here we go. Okay, so time for the actual charge pipe install. Again, Darkside O-rings going in. If you guys, if I didn't mention this in the previous video, this is a diesel car, so that is why I'm getting parts from Darkside. I used to live in the UK and I know about them when I was in the UK. They're a Sheffield based diesel performance parts company. They do a lot of custom fab work as well, and I will probably be buying some more stuff from them for this car in the future, so be on the lookout for that. Let's see if we can get this O-ring in here. There we go. Okay, O-ring installed. Lovely. So I'm going to stick this into our Darkside hose down here. Take you off the stand so you can see what's going on. So this is going to go into this. I haven't tightened anything up other than the bolts on the turbo muffler delete. These clamps are still loose, so I should be able to do some maneuvering as to how we're going to get this in here. You also have this bolt here, which is where this mounts, and they actually don't make you use the factory hardware, they give you new hardware for that hanger. So I'm going to try and get this in now. I'm going to thread this through here first, thread this into the top end, and then push this down here, maneuver the silicone onto it. Bit of a wiggle, get this connected up onto there. Lovely. See, does this bolt line up? Yeah, that's lining up. That appears to be a T30, is it? It is indeed a T30, so we'll screw this on. Now what I might try and do is get this bolted on the hard end, and then we will rectify our hose situation. Yeah, 10mm, cool. Throw the washer on, throw the bolt in, get it finger tight. Same on the other side, then we'll go in with the spanner and tighten it up. Now, this is going to be the interesting part. Okay guys, don't mind the dogs barking. New charge pipe is in. New Darkside silicone into our turbo muffler delete. Now I'm going to do those hose clamps up, throw everything else back in, and that's her done. Right lads, well that is it. She's all back together. That wasn't actually that difficult of a job, as long as you have the right tools, which I didn't for a lot of that, but I managed to find stuff that worked. I will say for this end of the charge pipe, the end of the charge pipe closest to the front of the car, you will need some sort of extender bar contraption to be able to get at that second bolt that's on the inside, and I scratched my knuckles up and all trying to get in there, but we got it done. I'm just gonna start up the car, just check there's no error codes or anything like that. I'd say the next video I'm probably gonna do is I'm gonna sort the actual intake out itself. So as I said, I did the charge pipe first because I knew I was gonna have to be taking all the intake out to get at the charge pipe, so I didn't want to put in all new stuff, you know, rip all of this out, put new stuff in, only to have to take out again to get at the charge pipe. So next video you see, or the next big video you see, will probably be the intake. So let's go and start her up and just check that there's nothing wrong. Ignition, no error codes at all. Okay, first start up. Everything seems to be okay. Nothing seems to have disconnected or blown off anywhere, which is good. All looking tidy. Yeah, very nice. Really happy with that. No codes, starts and runs fine. I feel like I can hear a little bit more turbo noise, which is cool. I think I'll only really hear it like once obviously the engine's warm, the turbo has a chance to actually spool up. I'm not just sitting here revving it. So I'll do a bit of a test on the road. I'll probably let you guys know in the next video if I seen much of a difference. But the only thing left to do now is, of course, to install our new air freshener from Darkside. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Alright guys, so as I say, that does do it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to hit the like button and please consider subscribing. I know I am fairly inconsistent with the channel, but having said that, with this car I am going to modify it more than I did with the A4. The A4, as I said in the previous video, was just causing me too many problems, and I was spending too much money fixing it to actually have money spare to be, you know, spending on it upgrading parts. And in all honesty, if it was breaking as much as it was with the standard parts, I wasn't confident that it would take the stress of performance parts either. So I thought it was better to get rid of it, get something that I knew was reliable, and mod this out instead. So I'm excited to do that. I actually have a rear wiper delete kit for this on the way, so we might do another video for that. And then, as I say, we'll be cracking on with the intake. I plan on getting some coilovers as well, and I'm definitely going to be getting a catback exhaust at some point. So all of this is still to come, so do please consider subscribing. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.